Well, that's up to you. Exactly. His claim was he was trying to do right by you. By doing a better job of cleaning. Not really. What do you mean by clean the backyard? They did clean up the dog crap. Yes. I don't know.
Hi, Linton.
Hello, Michael Weiss here.
There we
Hi,
are.
Michael. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
That's exoteric.
Hey,
Swag.
everyone.
Yes.
We've got 4 minutes to
Hello.
go. We got 4 minutes to go before we start. Look out, world.
I have my cat roaming around on the table up here, so if he walks in front of my
You notice my door is closed.
yes, well,
I have to keep the critters out.
We'll add some joyful delight to the call.
Yeah. Utter joy, utter delight. Oh, look at that. I can turn the volume up. Hey.
Okay. Got that one? Oh, here's already got it. Look at it.
Well, Linton, we have a lot of people that's registered for the call. We have 90 registered.
Is this the biggest call we've had so far?
That's the large, yeah. 2 months ago, when Neildine, Malia, and Fran facilitated the webinar, we had 60, and 60 signed on at the beginning, and we had 60 at the end. So it was phenomenal. And but 90, this is the largest webinar I've ever been part of ever. So
Ever.
yeah.
Go EXO.
Go EXO.
Yeah.
Happy dance.
We got our celebrity. Well, it's probably because Michelle's been in all our videos, so everybody's calling her.
Who's that chick? Why do I keep seeing your face? What's up with that mug?
Between Will knowing everybody and Michelle, I'm not surprised.
It's all good.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I see we got more and more people coming on. Good to see everybody's faces.
It is.
So your
It's like a little family reunion.
Yeah, it's a little virtual family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
There's Mark. There's Joseph Sealer. Hi, Joseph. Hi, Mark. Hi, Libby. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Adam. Hi, Jerry. How is it, people?
Adam's in the dark. You can just see the glow
Bright
in his eyes. Maybe he's the devil. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Who was
I'm
it?
just kidding. It's a masked man.
Tim. Hi, Tim. Julie. I just got to talk with Julie last week. She is in
Hi.
person.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Tian. Hi, Laura. Oh, I haven't talked to Laura in forever and a day. Laura Menz. Hello. It is like a little family reunion.
It is Mark Feshner. Well, greetings, Mark.
Oh, Mark. Hi, Mark. Tim. Who else we got? Sarah McDonald. Hi.
Laura Menzies here. How are you?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm talking to you forever and a day. Julie
I know.
Hi, Julie.
Hey.
Hey, help. It's good that you guys put all this together, you and Will. Thank you. Hi, Tim. Hi, Jolie.
Hello,
Hi,
everybody.
Elsie.
Hi.
Lots of people. Tim Pollock. Lisa Downs. Hello, Lisa. Who else we got? Oh, I'm missing some people.
People pouring in.
There she is, Lisa Downs. Look at you.
I know.
Hey, did you try to call me earlier, Will?
I did. It's all good. That's okay.
Anything? Okay.
Yeah,
I was tied up on another call.
that's okay.
Those are busy. Andrea. Hello, Andrea. Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the call. There's Natalie Paul.
Natalie Paul. So good grief. It's like a reunion.
It is. Constance.
Is Natalie on this call?
Natalie's on this call.
Natalie,
Her mother.
mom and daughter.
Mom and daughter team, the power couple, power team.
Love it.
Shirley's coming on. Hello, Shirley.
Hello.
Hi, Ildy. Hi, Ildy.
Hi.
Hi, Ildy. Nice to hear your voice. There you are.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you all.
Awesome. Pat Williams from Florida. Tom Newhouse.
Susie Young, Susie Tatum. Oh my
I
gosh.
know, she popped on too. Larry Lazar. Hey, Larry. All the legends on the call here. Awesome.
Pat Williams, he's the legend. Pat Williams, legend of Florida.
Yeah, but I'm moving to Colorado.
Are you really?
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
You're getting closer to us. I'm
going back where I came from.
Oh. Wow, this is an action-packed call. This is awesome. Oh, we got page 2.
It is. We're up to 46 folks who've signed on so far.
All right.
If you guys haven't already, you can turn on click on the chat box at the bottom of your screen, and you can pull the chat box over here on the right hand side.
Oh, I see.
I thought it was almost empty.
And we have, 21 non-video participants. Some people don't want to show their face. I understand. Some people don't want to show their face.
Incognito.
Not enough makeup in the world is going to get me on the camera today.
Hey, Linton.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Everybody powerful today?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have a powerful day, Mr. Larry Lazar. Hi, Miriam Reese. How are you?
I'm in a conference right now.
What conference are you in?
You.
Oh.
Hello, Julie. Julie, welcome aboard, Julie.
Yeah. Crystal Net. Hello, Crystal.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Great. We got Shirley from Australia. I love it.
Oh, my gosh. What time is it there?
It's
Lunchtime.
Yes.
Who are you talking to? Amy?
Eating time.
Who are you talking to over there? Love it. Hello, love. How are you?
Hello, love. I'm trying to make the accent. I'll just change it. Hey. Oh, we got, okay, let me see if I can switch to the non.
All right. It is 3 minutes after the hour, so we're going to begin, and we have a full 1.5 hour fantastic webinar, and I would like to, I know we're going to have more people coming on, but I want to be sensitive to the hour and a half for everybody. And welcome, and I'm so excited to be part of this webinar. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Will Wiebe. I'm an executive leadership coach and founding member of Exoteric. I'm also chair of the member development team, and we're looking for coaches to be on our committee, on our team. So if any of you are interested, email me and we can have that conversation. I would like to introduce, of course, most of you all know Linton Johnson, who's the managing partner and founder of Exoteric Living. And I will introduce Michele in a few minutes. Just an FYI for everybody, December the 5th, next month, is our next Exoteric webinar, and Fran Harris is going to be our presenter. And Fran is a founding member, or either pioneer or founding member of Exoteric, and she is an incredible marketing PR coach, and she's going to be spending an hour and a half with us and sharing with us all kinds of resources and ways that you can market your professional coaching process.
I'm on a call.
And our webinar is going to be recorded, so for those Exoteric members that will not have the opportunity to be on this call or have to drop off a little bit early, it will be recorded, and that recorded link will be on the Exoteric Coaching on the Edge Facebook page, and also we're going to send it out to the other Exoteric leadership agencies so they can integrate that on their Facebook pages as well. As host, I will be facilitating the chat and the Q&A with Michele and with all of you. And our goal here this evening is to try to weave that Q&A throughout the webinar as best as we can. That being said, we need to be sensitive to time with all of you as well. So there may be some areas that will emerge during Michele's webinar that you may feel there's a need to be discussed offline with Michele. You can certainly do that, and Michele will talk about that a little bit later on in the webinar. So again, I would like to do a welcome to Linton Johnson. Linton's going to share a few things, and then Linton won't not be able to be with us during the entire call because he's got some other stuff going on. But Linton, I'm going to turn it over for you for a minute or so, and then if you could turn it back over to me, that would be great. So Linton, it's all yours.
Right. Thank you. Welcome everybody. This is an awesome webinar. I want to thank Will and his team on the membership development team, LD and Julie Eichmann for putting this together. You guys are doing an incredible job. I appreciate your loyalty, and I appreciate all the work that you put into these things. You know, this doesn't just magically appear. I mean, they've planned this out weeks in advance, and then there were rehearsals, and you know things always go, no matter how much practice you do, something always goes wrong. So forgive them if something happens wrong. But these guys are pros, and they're here for you. They're here to serve you. So please give them all the respect, and let's all give them a round of applause to put this together. They're doing a lot of work. And Will, thank you for your leadership on this. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to have Michele on to talk about this. You know, if I'm going to endorse somebody, I have to go through it myself. And so I did. I hired Michele to do some coaching with me just to see what all this was about. I had a fantastic experience with some incredible results. And I'm really proud to back Michele on this. She's a wonderful woman. And it turns out I now moved into her neighborhood. I live just now a couple of blocks away from
5 minutes away, maybe 7.
Maybe 7, yeah, if they're traffic lights. So, yeah, I had to move in the middle of the Bay, which our city, not my home city is Hayward, California. And so it's nice to have her even closer. But this is going to be a wonderful experience for all of you all. And Michele, thank you for your time to do this. And everybody, thank you for being on this call. You guys are the best part of EXO. You've really made EXO grow. There's some incredible things that are about to be revealed on Exoteric. There is no better time to be part of EXO than right now. And if you haven't signed up for the small group chat calls on Sundays at 4 o'clock Pacific, please sign up for them. We're about to unveil something incredibly powerful, and I'm not overstating this either. You'll probably get a little hint of it when you log back into the Exoteric Living website and see something different. So get on those small group calls because you're going to learn about it, an incredible, powerful new tool and partnership that we have. It's going to really put EXO on the map. It's all of our help, all of our efforts, rather, to be able to use this tool. But we'll talk about that later. But I really want to turn this back over to Michele and to Will. This is a great webinar. Will, again, great job on this. You guys are going to have fun. And I'm sorry I have to drop off. I have to get to a couple of more meetings here. But welcome, everybody, and have a great time. Back to you, Will.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Linton. I really appreciate that. And so I would like to introduce Michele Molitor. Michele is founder and CEO of Nectar Consulting. And Michele works with executives and entrepreneurs, bringing over 25 plus years of professional experience in terms of her intuitive insights and strategic business for their success. I think her unique inside out approach, as she calls it, is a culmination of years and years of study within the confines of emotional intelligence, neuroscience, and it's something called rapid transformational therapy, or hypnotherapy rather, which I had no idea even existed until about a month and a half ago. And I'm just intrigued with this. And it's a rapidly growing niche area for consultants and coaches, and I think this is going to be a wonderful evening for all of us. And Michele's also a nationally recognized speaker and a certified executive coach, and she's co-author of a new book coming out in December called Breakthrough Healing as well. So I'm very excited about that. And then lastly, one of the things that Michele is going to be offering as a gift for all of you that are part of this conversation this evening is that she's going to be sharing her latest ebook titled Sane know with grace and grit. And that will also include a guided relaxation and hypnotherapy MP3 recording with Michele. So you will receive all of that as a gift for participating in this evening's webinar. And then just real quickly, our intention for the call today is to create a safe space for the next hour and 15 minutes, and for all of us to gain some useful tools and insights about themselves, about ourselves, and how we can work with our clients. And part of that is creating a safe space, and being said, is also creating a safe space of confidentiality this evening as well, because there could be some sharing, something could be emerging that is important, and it's so important that we are respectful to hear the voice of our coaches. And so that being said, Michele, I'm going to turn it over to you. It's all yours.
Great. Well, thank you, everyone. I am so happy to be here with you all. I'm going to mute everybody so we can cut out any background noise, and when we get to the group discussion part, you can feel free to unmute yourself and pop your voice in, right? But as we are recording this, I want to kind of keep some of the background distractions to a minimum. So let me just hit that button. Allow, yes, I want to continue with that. Perfect. Okay. So thank you all for having me. I'm really, really happy to be here. I have been an executive coach for over 16 years now. I've had my own company, Nectar Consulting, after I left the .com world as a creative director in a very unpleasant situation. And so since then, I've become a bit of a learning junkie. I've been on a constant path of seeking growth and enhancing myself so that I could be the very best coach that I could be. But underneath that, it was all about, how do I get past my own stuff, my own challenges and blocks? And I literally have tried everything, every which way to Sunday, to get past those head games that I play with myself, that we all play with ourselves. And so in my search, I'm always looking for different things. Last year, I came across something that I'd never heard of before called Rapid Transformational Hypnotherapy, or RTT. Rapid Transformational Therapy is pioneered by Marissa Peer, who's a world-renowned hypnotherapist. And she launched it about a year and a half ago, started training other people in this methodology. And just doing one of her short courses, it created such powerful transformation for me. Literally, the things that I've been trying to get at for 16 years were gone within 2 to 3 weeks. I am not kidding you. It blew my mind. And I knew instantly that this was the next level, the next evolution for me and my work as a coach and a healer. And when she started training people in it, I was like, pick me. So I've gone on to become a certified practitioner of the Rapid Transformational Therapy methodology. And since then, it has literally transformed my life and my work as a coach. And I have even changed the name of what I call myself. I'm now a rapid transformational coach. And I'll tell you more about how this hypnotherapy and the coaching come together in a beautiful way, kind of a yin and yang, if you will. And I've created a 30-day rewiring experience that literally helps you weed out those subconscious behaviors, beliefs, fears, phobias that are causing sickness, health issues in your body, and they can be disappeared in a very short period of time. But I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes. So I want to, I'm going to do some screen sharing as we go so you can see where we're going tonight. And if I can find my cursor, only if my fingers will, okay, isn't this interesting? My fingers are so dry, the trackpad won't work. That's hilarious. Okay, come on. All right, I won't screen share right now because there we go. Here we go. Let's see. I'm going to do that. We're going to do that. Okay. So here we are, the Neuroscience of Success. We're going to be talking about learning the principles of the mind so you can master your mindset. So here's our agenda for the evening. We're going to be talking about the inner and outer game of coaching. which I know you guys are familiar with to degrees. We're all coaches here. I'm preaching to the choir, but there's some background here that I want to give you. Then I want you to meet Amy. Amy's your amygdala. She's part of your limbic brain. And then we're going to talk about the stories we tell ourselves. Those are going to be the different things that we as coaches, where do we get hung up? Where are our blind spots in our work as a coach and our work as running our own businesses? Then we'll go into the principles of the mind. I'll share with you a little bit more about what rapid transformational coaching is. And then we're going to do a little transformation piece. We're going to do about a 15-minute little hypnotherapy piece where you guys are all going to be able to relax, sit back, and allow some of this great stuff to come in. And then we're going to do a Q&A. All right? So that's where we're headed. And I'll turn that off now for just a minute. We'll come back to that. The inner and outer game of coaching. You know, we all have those different mindsets that move us forward or the ones that stop us. And as coaches, it happens sometimes more frequently, sometimes less frequently, especially when you're trying to manage your own business. Because as you all know, coaching and running a business are two very different things, right? And so how many of you, just a raise of hands, how many of you have ever gotten stuck in some part of managing your business? Anybody? I see any hands up there? Yeah, some nods of heads, exactly. Oh, I love it. Oh, look, I get little hands over here. It's so exciting. I've never seen those before. Yay, all the hands are going up. This is how I entertain myself on Zoom. Sorry. And so start typing in the chat box. What are some of those mindsets? What are some of those conversations that you're having with yourself that are getting in your way? Like right now, what are some of those things that are like, oh, I can't get past that block. I can't seem to undo that thing. I know I have a blind spot over here in this particular area, but I don't really know how to get at it. And, you know, it's those things that we're going to be talking about here in a little while. So some of the ones that I've had to overcome are fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of being judged, right? I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My parents have been very successful, and here I am trying to flailing around, trying to run my own business, right? And so fear of asking for help, fear of rejection, the sales conversation. Oh, I don't want to be too salesy. You know, it comes in so many different forms. And so as you guys are typing in these, Will and I are going to be taking some notes. I'll be reviewing this because I'll be incorporating this into the transformation portion of the call later. I don't want to be Jerry Maguire. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one before. And as you know, all of this, all these machinations, these theme songs that are going on in our minds is the work of our ever popular amygdala, right? I like to call her Amy. Amy, your amygdala, right? And she's part of your limbic brain, your reptilian brain, and she's never going to go away. She's hardwired in there. You guys have all done your own personal development work. I know you call her the gremlin, the committee, that inner critic, the devil on your shoulder. There's so many different ways to call her. And so our job as coaches, not only for ourselves, but for our clients, is to figure out how do we put Amy to better use? How do we give her a job that she's going to be really good at versus one that's going to impact us in a negative way, right? Because that's really just her sole purpose, is to keep you safe, right? That's the whole thing, that fear mechanism, that fight or flight or freeze, deer in the headlights, where we just sit and spin and ponder our toes, right? Ponder our navel sometimes, when it's just easier to do that than it is to, say, do your books or something really exciting. And so Amy's always in the background trying to keep you safe. But as you know, she can come up with all sorts of ideas about what that needs to look like based on our past experiences in life. And that gets wired into our subconscious programming, and we don't even know it's there after a while. And then we wake up one day and we're like, why am I still doing that thing that I know that I don't want to do, but yet I keep doing it, right? Anybody have that happen? Yep. I see some more hands going up. Absolutely. So some of the stories that we tell ourselves, that I'm not good enough, let's see, I'm not smart enough, I'm not busy enough or businessy enough, I'm not supposed to talk about money, FOMO, that's one of my favorite ones, fear of missing out. Miss out on something. Fear of being out of balance. Fear of success. If I'm too successful, then I'll lose control of my own life somehow. Let's see. I can't do both coaching and running my business well, right? If we could all just coach to our heart's content and let the clients come in beautifully and then not have to worry about any other stuff, wouldn't that be beautiful? Oh, wait, that's what Exoteric's all about. Yay for Exoteric, right? Let's see. I keep being told I need a niche and I don't know what it is, and I feel like I'm less clear than I'd like to be, and likely spreading myself too thin, trying to do too much for too many. Yep, I know that one. I'm really good at this, and this, so I can just do all of those, right? No, you can, and. So I'm going to unmute you guys. I'm going to unmute everybody. Well, let me do it this way. Let me not unmute everyone. And if there's a particular challenge that you've been dealing with that is getting in your way, then unmute your phone. I know I had a couple people raise their hand earlier about that. I know Tim Austin was going to share something that he's been dealing with. Tim, are you there? I can see you. Wait, unmute yourself, Tim. Unmute Tim. There we go. Gotcha. Oh, now you muted yourself.
You hear me now?
There we go. Yes, we can hear you now. So,
Okay.
Tim, what is one of the challenges that you've been dealing with that is really impacting your success right now?
Yeah, I think that it's an ongoing limiting belief that I've had, Eve, that goes quite a ways back from when I started my coaching journey a number of years ago. Before I started getting into coaching for over 15 years, I was in the nonprofit world, working in overseas in humanitarian organizations and doing a lot of charitable work, relief and development type of work, and so didn't get involved in business really at all. And we had other people that were sponsoring our work. So, it was just a different model, totally, completely. And so when I began to feel a nudge to move into coaching as a business, I really, really felt limited and not prepared and not equipped. And even though I came way back when my father was a businessman, and we I grew up kind of in the family business. I had spent so many years out of the business world that my limiting belief was, I can't do this. I'm comfortable here. I should just stay where I'm at. So I think for me, and so thankfully, I took the leap several years ago and started the business, but I still go back to, I still feel that's a limiting belief. It's an obstacle that I face probably daily in terms of how I approach my business and how I relate to my clients. So that would be for me a big challenge.
Okay, great. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you sharing that with us. And let's see, I saw Julie Eichmann. You had your hand up as well. Are you still there, Julie?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey.
What's a challenge that you're dealing with right now in your business that's like got you twisted a little bit?
Yeah, I think it is, like Tim, it's kind of this bigger, arching, ongoing feeling of, I don't know, I've heard it called like being a fraud. Like, I feel like the circles, whether I'm in communities like this, of coaches or even just other entrepreneurs, I tend to feel like, oh, they have it all figured out. They know exactly, right? They're amazing, right? They're talented. And I just see kind of all the flaws and all the things that I don't know. And I find myself chasing after maybe new credentials and new courses and learning, but that doesn't actually hit the underlying feeling or need.
And if you had to put that one word to it, is it feel like a fraud, or is it something different?
Yeah, that's the closest I've gotten to naming it, the fraud, feeling
Okay.
like a fraud. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a very popular one. And I suffered that for many, many years. I probably have, I don't know, 2,000 or more hours of training and certifications under my belt because I was constantly trying to fill that void. Because when I was in corporate America, the end of my corporate career was extremely painful, and it literally left my confidence shattered. That's when I discovered coaching, actually. Was like, oh my God, what do I do now? I have no idea, and I can't do that ever again because it was so very painful. And in the process of being coached, I discovered my true passion and purpose, which is amazing. But at the same time, there was always that, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Do I know enough? Do I know enough? I don't have all the answers. I got to get more of the answers answered before I can do this properly. And in chasing all of those credentials, I always felt like I was on the hamster wheel. Not there, I'm not there, I'm not there. Everybody else has it figured out, right? And when I discovered the rapid transformational therapy, it shifted things so powerfully for me. I'll give you this example because it's brand new and it's super exciting. So before, for many, many years, I was afraid to really go back into corporate in a full-blown way because of that niggly thing in the very back of my brain because of what happened in my corporate experience. I was like, right, still really, really gun shy of it. And in the last year, things have transformed so much so that I literally, earlier this year, helped bring together a team. And we just found out about a month ago that we won a 5-year executive coaching and leadership development training contract with the San Francisco airport. So it's a really, really big deal. And it could have never happened a year ago. So this work's just really, really profound, and I get really excited talking about it because it has created such amazing shifts for me and all of the clients I've been working with this year. So let me move on and tell you guys a little bit more about the principles of the mind that are going to help us overcome some of these stories that we have with ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to mute everybody again here just for a few minutes, and then we'll come back to the sharing portion of the show. So if I come back to the screen share, I want to tell you about the principles of the mind. And so the principles of the mind, these are things that I've learned over my 16 years, and it's fascinating to me. So the first principle of the mind is that your mind always does what it thinks you want it to do, right? It's Amy at work again. It's all about your survival. It's like what is in your very, very best interest so that you stay safe. And so the thing is, with this principle, you have to tell your mind exactly what you want it to do in a very clear and concise way. So you get to notice what's the conversation that you're having with yourself on a regular basis. And if that conversation isn't lifting you up and empowering you, then that's Amy at work trying to keep you small, trying to keep you safe inside your comfort zone, right? So that's the first thing. Start to notice that because you can then start telling yourself better things to get better results, different behaviors, okay? The second principle of the mind is moving away from pain and towards pleasure. Again, this is Amy at work. So you have to choose what you link the sensation of pleasure to versus what you're linking to the sensation of pain. So for example, doing my bookkeeping is really not my most favorite thing to do. I'm getting better with numbers every single day. And I keep telling myself that, and it becomes less and less painful. So every time that I have to sit down and do my books, I love doing my books. It's so much fun. How can I do this? Oh my gosh. And I bring that excitement to it, even though I'm lying to my brain because I really, really don't like it very much. But if I tell myself that I really, really don't like it very much, then I'm going to get that heavy, icky feeling that we don't want. So, in order to move away from pain and towards pleasure, you get to lie to your brain, cheat your fears, and steal back your confidence, right? Lie to your brain, yep, absolutely. Cheat your fears and steal back your confidence. Because when you turn your fears into excitement, even though it's false excitement, your body doesn't know the difference. Your brain just does what you tell it to do, right? So, oh, we're excited about this. Great. So then your happy chemicals get released, your serotonin, your dopamine, that all starts to flood your system. You're like, oh, this feels great. Let's do some more of that. Check that box. All right, moving on to the next thing, right? So it creates a whole different shift, not only in your mindset, but in your physiology. And that's what you want to try and do. All right. The third thing is you only respond to two things. You respond to the images that you see in your mind and the words you tell yourself, right? So again, notice, what are you thinking? What are those patterns, those thought patterns, that theme song, as I like to call them, that you've got playing on repeat in your mind? Are they lifting you up or are they taking you down? And so the thing is, any scene or event or issue can be really positive or really negative. And it's all about the meaning that we assign it, right? It's about the meaning that you give it. And the meaning that you give it can be changed at any time. Now, I know I've been through some really horrible situations in my life, and I'm sure you all have too. And our job is to look at those and take what there is to learn from them and keep moving forward. Because if we get caught in the emotional charge around it, what we're doing is we're giving our power away to Amy, right? Amy's taking that power away from us, and then we have to go back and reclaim it. And that just creates even more work for us to have to do. So be mindful of the images and the words that are in your mind and that what you're constantly repeating to yourself. So is the glass half empty or is the glass half full, right? It's all about assigning it a meaning that works for you instead of working against you. All right, the next one, making the familiar unfamiliar and the unfamiliar familiar. All right. So what I mean by this is if you have a theme song, a negative, disempowering thought process in your mind that says, I'm not good enough, I'm a fraud, I can't do this, I'm not prepared, I'll get overloaded, then the more you think that, the more that thought process gets burned into your synaptic connections in your brain. And the more you think it, the stronger those synaptic connections become. So when you're stressed, your brain goes to what's most familiar, and it will go to the track that's been played the most. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not getting it right. I'm not doing it right, et cetera, right? And so your job is to make that familiar connection unfamiliar, and then create new connections that are unfamiliar, like I am good enough. I've got this. I'm an awesome coach. I'm an awesome business owner. And the more you tell yourself that, the stronger those connections then become. And that becomes the new familiar, just like orange is the new black. This is that, but different, right? So by making the familiar unfamiliar, you're dismantling old negative beliefs, and you're creating new positive beliefs that then become the stronger, more familiar track in your mindset. Okay? And then that leads me to the last one, which is your brain likes repetition. So to create these familiar new patterns, you have to rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And so the more you tell yourself something, the more true it becomes for you. So let me turn this off for just a minute. So the more you can tell yourself, I'm a great coach, I'm an awesome business owner, I've got my books handled, I am good enough, I am worthy of success, I am worthy of abundance, I am authentic, I am an expert, whatever those words are for you, then that's the thought that you need to repeat over and over and over it to yourself, right? One of the most powerful things that came out for me from my work with Marissa Peer was something very, very simple. Simply, I am enough. And when I allowed myself to get that at a very deep level, so much shifted. And it seems so simple, but actually it's absolutely very profound and very, very transformative. So those are the 5 principles of the mind. Let's stop there for just a quick moment and see what questions folks have. So if you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and pop on here. And
Michelle, this is Will, and there's been a few individuals that have responded via chat, which just makes sense of what you have just been talking about. Ildi had talked about that the integration of practicing positive affirmations is fantastic, and I really believe that as well. And it comes from the strength-based process, and using you start by saying, I can do this. I am fabulous, and then Barry talks about excellent NLP based program. And so if you want to speak to those, to Ildi and to Barry a little bit, that would
absolutely.
be great.
That's a perfect segue, because let me speak to that by telling you a little bit more about the rapid transformational hypnotherapy, because it combines all of these things together. That's what makes it so different than traditional hypnotherapy. It combines, it's this unique hybrid of hypnotherapy, of NLP, of psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapies, positive affirmations, and it does it in such a way that it starts with understanding and eliminating the subconscious pattern that's there, that's creating the swirl, that's creating the constant soundtrack that's going on in your mind, and then uses that information to create a new, positive, powerful transformation recording for a client. So in a nutshell, a standard rapid transformational hypnotherapy session has 3 parts to it. And it starts with a discovery session where we both in live and via intake forms, we figure out what's the one thing that a client really needs to eliminate. So if I could wave my magic wand, what's the one thing that you want to get rid of? It's amazing for helping, smoking, weight loss, fears, phobias, fear of public speaking, chronic illness, anxiety, depression, so many different ways, right? We can look at that. And then the second piece is, I call it the rewire. It's where we actually go back in through that trance-like state, that hypnotic state, and enables you to have a conversation with your subconscious. You ask your mind literally, why did I create this for myself? Because that's what's happening. I had a client who came to me with chronic migraines, and she's been experiencing them since she was tiny, since she was a little kid. And in the regression session, we discovered that it really was a protective mechanism because of the chaos that was going on in her household and the fear and overwhelm that she was dealing with when she was 3 years old. And so as an adult, when you understand the origins of it, it's freedom, because as an adult, then you can shift and change your mind about it. Literally, like, okay, as an adult, I don't need that anymore. And so there's a lot of different pieces inside of that, but we get at the root, the cause of what is holding you back. And then all of that information from the first 2 parts of the session is then woven into what I call the transformation. And that's the last portion of a session where I literally create a dialogue with your subconscious that we record. And then the client receives that to listen to for 21 days, every 1 day. So that's where that repetition comes in, that those positive affirmations come in, right? So you're listening to this recording every single day, and you're literally burning those new pathways in your brain so that you can overcome those limiting beliefs of feeling like a fraud, feeling like an imposter, afraid I can't do this, etc. And the results are profound. They are literally profound. And so when you're able to do that, it creates mind-blowing, life-altering, in weeks, not months or years, kinds of transformation. And in doing so, you're giving people freedom that they've never had before, because they've been carrying around this thing that Amy decided that they needed to carry around for a really, really long time. One of my favorite quotes that I'll share with you, and hold on just a second, Will, is the sorrow that has no vent in tears makes other organs weep. And so when we can't vent our emotions properly, it finds other ways in our body to get stuck, and will eventually, get our attention. Will, what's your question?
Well, there are 2 of our coaches that have questions. Pat Williams talks about that. He has certifications in MDR and Erickson hypnotherapy, and David Grove's clean language are all blended in my whole person approach to personal transformation. Does RTT blend any of that? And then the other question from Barry Bettman: as an ICF coach, the code of ethics does not allow therapy. How do you do coaching and RTT together as a coach?
So that's a great question. I have been trained and certified as a practitioner of this methodology, right? So I don't call myself a therapist. And I'm using this as a tool in conjunction with all the other coaching tools in my toolbox. So in my 30-day rapid rewiring experience, we start with a hypnotherapy session, and then it's followed by 2 follow-on coaching sessions. So there's an integration that happens with the information that we get, and then followed up on how they integrate it into their life for positive strategies for moving forward. Marissa Peer's methodology that she's pioneered has incorporated, yes, many of those techniques that you mentioned, Patrick. Not EMDR, but certainly several other areas of traditional hypnotherapy. And she has been doing this with A-listers from around the world for the last 30 years. So it's very well proven, and it's now being utilized worldwide, which has been pretty exciting. Any other questions about that before we drop down into our own little transformation piece? Nope. Okay, great. So I wanted to give you
just for one quick, Kim Pollock shared, yes, as a professional CSIR, so much coaching now seems like therapy to me.
Yes. Well, there's a very fine line, right? Mm-hmm. And I know in talking with someone, that's why I do a complimentary discovery session up front with people to find out actually what's going on with them, and am I the right person to help them? Because sometimes they need a full-on therapist, which I'm not, right? And so I will make those recommendations as necessary. But that's why I always have that complimentary session up front to find out actually where they're at, what's going on for them, and what's necessary. So the difference between RTT, rapid transformational hypnotherapy, and coaching and how they come together is RTT deals with the subconscious mind, where coaching deals with more the conscious mind. RTT, the subconscious pieces, we look at the blocks that are getting in their way to eliminate them, and then the coaching then helps them integrate that and create those forward-moving goals, strategies for success, whether that's personally or professionally. And so I found it to be a really powerful one-two punch, if you will, for helping folks get to where they want to be much, much more quickly. Because as you know, with clients, often they'll take 2 or 3 steps forward, and then Amy will get kicked up. Their fears will all get all over their heads, and then they'll take 3 steps back, or they'll run away completely, right? I know I've had that happen in the past. Like, oh yeah, this is really good. Oh my God, it's so scary. Like a big breakthrough equals then a big breakdown, and they don't always know what to do to handle that. So these are just different tools for your toolbox. So based on everything we've been discussing today, then what I'd like to do is give you guys kind of just a sample, a taste of what the transformation portion of a call would look like. So you can see how powerful it can be based on the different pieces of information we've gotten here today. I don't want to go into overload. Fear of missing out. I'm not enough. I don't have the right niche yet. I'm not prepared. I don't want to be spam. I don't want to be Jerry Maguire. That was a really good one. And, feeling like you're an imposter, chasing credentials, all of these different fears that we all deal with in running our own businesses and how they get in our way and really stop us from really stretching further beyond the edge of our comfort zone so we can create not only transformation for ourselves, but transformation for others in different ways. So for this next portion of the show, let me do another little screen share here real quick. And so we're going to go here. So I call my work now rapid transformational coaching. And so, this is what I just talked about. So RTT works with the subconscious mind to eliminate blocks from the past and create new mindsets and behaviors. Then coaching works with the conscious mind to look at desire and change for the future and create new strategies for life. And I don't know if that's in y'all's way, but together they can create the harmony between the subconscious and the conscious mind to integrate new beliefs in all areas of your life. So I don't know if my video screen is in the way of what y'all are seeing on my screen. There we go. Whoops. Nope. There we go. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So for this next section, what I want you to do is I want you to just sit back, make sure your phones are on mute so you won't be disturbed, and you're going to be able to relax and just listen. But before I dive into that, I want to show you really quick the trick to having you drop down into this deeper state of relaxation. It's a hypnotic trance, but you're fully aware. You would be able to answer questions if I asked you questions, but it really allows your conscious mind to turn off, your critical thinking mind to turn off, and allows your subconscious mind to be fully aware and listening. Okay. So I'm going to lean in so you can see what I'm doing, because you're going to do this in just a minute. All right. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you look up as high as you possibly can, as if you're looking into your own eyebrows. And it's going to create that blinking sensation that you could probably see, right? And it's going to feel a little uncomfortable, but you won't have to keep your eyes here for very long. We'll breathe in a few times here and breathe out. And then on the last exhale, I'm going to have you keep your eyeballs up while closing your eyelids right down. And that'll create this fluttering sensation. Y'all see that? Okay, so then you'll be able to relax your eyes and just keep them closed from there. And what that's doing is it's creating a burst of alpha brain waves, which is the most suggestible brain state there is. So it just allows the information I'm going to be sharing with you to drop into your subconscious more easily, okay? And then the other thing, one other thing is I want you all to just, if you can, just put your arms straight out in front of you like this. So you put them straight out, shoulders length, you can, with your fingers, you're going to be doing something just like this in a few minutes, all right? So those are the only 2 tests we have. All right, so go ahead and sit back, and we're going to jump into this, and I'm going to turn my video off so it's not distracting, but you can leave yours on if you want. It doesn't matter. And I will see you on the other side in just a moment. Okay. All right, now. So just sit back in your chair and make yourself comfortable, sitting with your feet and your hands not quite touching. Just in an open receiving pose, knowing that you're receiving some wonderful words of empowerment today. So just look up as high as you possibly can, as if you're looking into your own eyebrows. And I want you to keep your eyes rolled up, because when you're looking up like that, it's taking you into a state of alpha brainwave. And that's the most suggestible brainwave of all. So keep your eyes glued to a real or imagined spot overhead as you breathe in and breathe out. Taking another deep breath in, breathe out. And each time you blink, that is hypnosis coming upon you. And just one more time, breathe in, keeping your eyeballs right up, all the way up. And as you exhale, just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. And as your eyelids shut down, you can feel that fluttering in your eyes, and that's a perfect sign that you're responding. That's a great sign as the muscles and nerves in and around your eyes are becoming heavy, droopy, drowsy. Your eyelids are starting to feel right now as if they've been glued shut, sealed shut, locked tight. And soon you'll find it harder. You try to open your eyes, the more they feel glued shut, sealed shut, locked together. So just forget all about your eyes right now and allow a drifting, floating feeling to develop in your body. And I want you to just picture in your own mind's eye 10 steps descending. And it always helps if you just tilt your chin down just a little as you get that same looking down feeling that you might get as you look over a balcony or down a flight of stairs. So you're now looking down those 10 steps, and you're moving on to that 10 step as each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 9 and 8. And you can see your feet, hear your feet, even feel your feet stepping on each step as you move down, drift down, travel down to an even deeper level. You're taking step 7, going deeper with every number I count. You're taking steps 6 and 5 as each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 4 and 3 as you gently, calmly, easily move on over to an even deeper level. You're taking step 2 and 1, just going deeper and deeper as you drift deeper, sink deeper, drift deeper. And every time I click my fingers and say the words go deeper, you simply go deeper and deeper and deeper into an awareness of yourself. So just go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper. And as you sink deeper and deeper, I want you to simply imagine that your eyelids are glued shut, sealed shut, locked tight. So much so that the harder you try to open your eyes, the more they feel sealed shut, fused together, locked tight. And as you breathe in, you're sinking deeper and deeper into a state of relaxed hypnosis. So I want you to stretch your arms out at shoulder height as if you're holding on to the reins of a horse or the handlebars of a bike. And as you do that, just close your palms as if you're holding on to that handlebars. That's just perfect. And I want you to imagine in your left hand that you're holding a huge red fire bucket that's filled with about 80 pounds of heavy, wet sand. And straight away, you can feel the weight of that bucket in your left hand. And your left arm is becoming heavier and heavier by the second. You can feel the weight in your wrist and your elbow and right up into your shoulder. You can feel it in your fingertips as that left arm becomes heavier and heavier, and the weight of that bucket full of sand begins to pull it all the way down. And as your left arm sinks down, drops down, pulls down from the sand, you are thinking, dropping, moving deeper into hypnosis. And your whole body is so heavy, it's sinking into the chair. And your eyes are so heavy, they don't want to open. Except for your right arm. Your right arm is holding a huge helium-filled balloon, a bright blue balloon that is bigger than you. It is so completely weightless, and it is attached to your right arm. And your right arm is starting to float up, to move up, to lift up, and it feels as if someone has attached your right arm to a pulley. And as you pull your right arm, it is floating, moving, lifting, traveling up, lifting up, easier and easier. And as it lifts up, it is absolutely weightless. And one arm is completely weighted down with the bucket of sand and being pulled down. And the other arm is so completely weightless and is floating up, traveling up, lifting up. And you're floating, moving, traveling deeper into hypnosis. And as your left arm is pulled down, you're being pulled deeper and deeper into hypnosis. And now you're going to notice that even when you try to push that right arm down, it's like pushing a balloon underwater. It just insists on springing up even higher. So try to push that arm down. It's like holding that balloon underwater, and it just insists on staying up and springing up. And now you try to lift your left arm, and it feels like it's been encased in concrete and lead, and it is so heavy. And you can see that you are incredibly suggestible. Every person here is incredibly suggestible. You can tell by the fluttering in your eyes and the balloon and the bucket how suggestible you are. And as I count to 3 and click my fingers, you will let go of the bucket and let go of the balloon and go at least 50 times deeper on the count of 1, 2, 3. Just sleep. That's perfect. And this is great news because you're seeing already how suggestible you are. And every suggestion you accept makes the next one easier. And when you accept meaningless suggestions, the bucket, the balloon, the eyes being glued shut, then your mind will absolutely be wide open to accepting meaningful suggestions about being an outstanding and being an extraordinary coach and business owner. And as you go deeper and deeper, you're going into the sleep of a nervous system. And your conscious mind is going sleep while your subconscious mind is fully aware and listening to every word I say. And you're listening, but you're not listening with your conscious mind. And your subconscious mind is listening as your conscious mind drifts away into this absolutely relaxed state, knowing that you are a phenomenal coach. And as you go deeper, you're aware that your strongest desire, your most powerful motivation, your most compelling ability to be the most phenomenal, the most outstanding, the most super successful coach. And as you go deeper, you understand that your mind does what it thinks you want it to do. And your mind does what it believes is in your very best interest. And you make sure that your mind knows every day that what you're insisting, that what you require of yourself, what you give to yourself is being an outstanding coach and successful business owner. And every day your mind understands what you want, that what you need, what you insist on, and what you give to yourself, what you require of yourself is to be the most phenomenal, unstoppable, highly successful coach and business owner. And every day your brilliant mind motivates you and conditions you. It programs you, it absolutely compels you to become and remain an incredible coach and savvy business owner. And you can see yourself becoming a world-class coach. And every day you're commanding your mind, compelling your mind, directing and instructing your brilliant mind that you are an extraordinary coach and wonderful business owner. You've got it all handled. And as my voice goes with you, my words are having a constant, consistent, ever-present, massive impact on you. And as you go deeper, you have the power to be an extraordinary coach. You are developing and expanding so many extraordinary coaching and business skills right now. You have it handled. You can do this. You always have and you always will. You have the power. You take that power. You own that power. You have an image of yourself doing outstanding work. You are super skilled, extraordinarily skilled, highly gifted in understanding what a client needs and how to take them to their next level of success. And you become busier and busier and your practice is full. And you do what you love and you love what you do. And this image is so clear, so real, so lifelike, because absolutely everything is in the right place at the right time, as you are a phenomenal coach and an amazing business owner. And your mind is motivating you, conditioning you, compelling you, programming you to enhance your skills as coach, as a business owner. And you know that every week and every single week, someone on the planet breathes easier because of you. Because when you change one person's life, it's the same as changing the life of all of humanity. And that means you make a massive difference and you have huge purpose. And this image of you as the most extraordinary, recognized, world-class, successful coach. This image is so clear, so real, so lifelike. It is you, so much so, and every day even more, because everything is in the right place at the right time, making it all happen. And all you need to do is think these thoughts and hear these words and see these images in your mind. And you let these suggestions in. You respond powerfully to these beautifully, superbly direct mental commands. And you listen to this recording every day. And as my voice goes with you, my voice stays embedded in you. And my voice has a powerful, permanent, all-pervasive impact on you. And you hear these words and you think these thoughts and you completely accept these suggestions. They sink right in like lotion on dry skin. They have a powerful, wonderful, motivating impact on you. And you respond to every suggestion perfectly. And you understand that every habit of action is, of course, run by a habit of thought. And since your habit of thought is always, always, I am an outstanding coach. I am a gifted coach. I'm a savvy business owner. I do phenomenal work. And it is right to charge for the phenomenal work I do because I create great value. I create powerful, positive shifts in the lives of each of my clients. And you help people achieve their goals and their dreams faster than they would have on their own. You help them build their business, expand their leadership, increase their health and well-being, and so much more. You help your clients get the job they want, the body they want, the life they want. And you accept that pay as physical proof that you are indeed a wonderful, gifted coach. You know it, and all of your clients know it too. So as you go deeper, you can see yourself doing brilliant work as a coach. You accept yourself as a stellar, awesome, amazing, outstanding coach. And you accept this pay, the money that clients pay you to set them free, to empower them, to make them feel good about themselves, to expand their success and accelerate their lives. And you accept that pay as physical proof of your acceptance as a truly outstanding coach. And you feel so good about yourself. Your confidence grows daily because you know you are enough. You know you are capable. You know you are worthy of success. And as you see yourself working with your clients know that you're going to assist them exceeding and succeeding in their life and business. You deliver, you surpass your own expectations time after time. And you surpass the expectations of your clients time after time. You just feel so good. You are so professional. So as you go deeper and deeper still, feeling extraordinary, feeling amazing, you're feeling blissfully, happily, totally confident, absolutely at ease, completely self-assured, knowing that you've got this, that you can do this, that you are totally an expert. You're amazing at what you do. You're extraordinary. And you're sharing with your friends, your colleagues, your community, your social media circles, your extraordinary skills as a coach. And you have new clients contacting you all the time. And you move from one phenomenal accomplishment to another. And every day you move from one great accomplishment to the next. And every day this image of you is so successful. It is so real. It is so lifelike. You're owning it, you're feeling it, you're living it, because you're so talented, so gifted, knowing that the universe is supporting you 1000%. And every day this image is so clear, so real, so lifelike, so attainable. It is you. It is you more so with every single moment that passes and every breath you take. So knowing it, feeling it, living it, achieving it, feeling amazing, feeling excited, feeling ready, feeling powerful, feeling empowered, feeling extraordinary. You know that you are an amazing coach because this is your statement of truth. I am an extraordinary coach and business owner. And you repeat this to yourself over and over as you listen to this recording. And with every passing day, as you share your gifts, you expand your confidence, your knowing, your expertise as an amazing coach and business owner. And this is what you do. This is who you are. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And the easier it becomes, the more you do it. So knowing it, feeling it, owning it, embracing it, living it, making it your own, making it what you do, making it who you are. When you're ready, you can slowly, calmly, easily return to your full awareness on the count of 1 and 2, feeling at ease, feeling invigorated. On the count of 3 and 4, feeling so energized, feeling extraordinary, feeling wonderful. And on the count of 5, just open your eyes and fill up your lungs and take a deep breath in, feeling so good about yourself with a smile on your face because you know you are an extraordinary coach right now. Welcome back. So how are you, everyone, after that little experience? Go ahead and unmute yourself if you have a thought you want to share about how that was for you.
It's nice.
Yeah? What was nice about it?
Nice and relaxing. Felt all my
Good.
muscles relaxing.
Yes, yes. It is very, very relaxing because it really just helps you just kind of shut all those systems down and allows you to create a very receiving environment. Who else? Who else had a thought about your experience there? Andrea, did you have a thought?
Yeah, I was struck with the making it much more possible to claim that I am an extraordinary coach and believe it.
Yes.
That's really wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I found it to be. It's really fascinating to me because I have several recordings that I've made for myself, actually. And I'll find myself like just in the middle of the day as I'm going through things, just like, oh, I'll be repeating those things unconsciously to myself. And then I'll catch myself like, oh yeah, look at that. It's working. I like to use myself as a science experiment. It works really well. You know, I did a whole weight loss hypnosis on myself, actually, because I hadn't been to the gym in like 9 months and it wasn't pretty. And literally after about a week of listening to the recording, I woke up on a Saturday and was like, okay, today I'm going to the gym and I'm going to hire a trainer. And that was that. And I've been working out 4 or 5 times a week ever since. And there's been no resistance. My sugar cravings have gone away. My need to eat fast food has gone away. My desire for Coca-Cola has gone away. And I'm much stronger. I've lost like 4% body fat. And yeah, I feel really strong and really great. And it's just been effortless. Before there was just like, oh, I don't want to go. It's right. All of that was going on. And so I've just continually finding new ways to apply it to myself and to others, and delighted in the transformations that are happening. So,
Michelle?
Yeah.
Hi, Pat Williams.
Hi, Pat.
I have to say, you know, and that was a really good and pretty traditional induction that is from my years of hypnotherapy training. But the bottom line is, and what you were making a point of, and some of the dialogue on the side over here in chat, is hypnotherapy. I mean, if it didn't have the word therapy in it, it's not always healing or fixing or curing or anything like that. This is a creative transformation. And of course, Milton Erickson, the word trance, Trance. And by the way, he wrote a book, And My Voice Will Go With You. So you said that a lot. That's a common phrase, but good job. Your voice and the induction were traditional and helpful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear from a seasoned pro. I love it. Who else? Seeing some comments here. It was very meditative.
I was going to say there's some comments here in the chat from various coaches. Jerry Wilson, I agree, was relaxing, lightning, but I don't think I completely surrendered. And Natalie Pauls, it was great. Thanks, Michelle. Look forward to transformation as a result. And Wanda talked about I had to resist the urge to come out of it and get busy.
Yeah, and let me address that one really quick because I get that. I'm a very, very busy person. I move at high speeds. And this was a very short version, right? This is maybe 15 minutes. Typically in a full hypnotherapy session, the session is almost 2 hours, 90 minutes to almost 2 hours, depending on what we're dealing with. So we'll spend 15 minutes up front talking about the intake information they've sent to me and the discovery. Then we'll move into the regression piece or the rewiring piece. And that's when they take them down into the hypnotic trance. So that's where people are going down. And then when we get to the last portion, the transformation, I actually take them down the stairs again, that induction again, because it's on their recording. And that recording is usually 25 to 30 minutes long. So it's a much longer period of time to help you drop down and turn off that busy mind. It's like kind of like going to, when you go get a massage, it takes 20 minutes to turn your brain off and allow yourself to receive the goodness that you're getting, right? So, but those are all very common things. And not everybody goes deep into trance. Some people do. Linton would let me share this with you. I know he told me no one's ever been able to hypnotize me. I'm like, okay. And he was out cold. It was hilarious. He's like, did I fall asleep? I'm like, mm-hmm. So everybody goes to different levels, and that's okay, because your brain is always listening. Your ears are always on, and it goes in. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So when you have the recording to follow up a session with, it continually creates that repetitive listening for you. And so I always recommend that people listen to it as they're going to sleep at night, because that way, if they fall asleep, it's all right, because their brain you're going to still hear it. And then once you've listened to it a bunch of times, then like I'll listen to it when I go for my walk. And things like that, because you don't actually have to drop all the way down into trance state for it to be effective.
Michele, there's a couple other questions. Shirley Robinson asked, what do you mean by regression? And Barry Bettman, Michele, how do you package RTT in your coaching practice?
So the regression, what that means is I'm taking someone down into that hypnotic stance, and once I've gotten them deeper down, then I'm actually starting to have a conversation with their subconscious mind to take me back to various scenes that help the client understand what's the cause, the root, the reason for the issue they're dealing with. So for example, the client I mentioned earlier who had chronic migraines, her subconscious mind brought up scenes of her when she was 3 years old and what was going on in that scene. And we do this several times so that then the client actually can daisy chain together the information they got, so they find their own answer in a very coach-like way as to what's at the root of this issue. And for her, for the migraines, it was a protective thing that her body had created for herself to deal with a very difficult and challenging situation as a very young child. So the regression is really the powerful part where the rewiring begins, because we literally find the cause of the issue and we pull it out by the root like a weed. And then we overlay the transformation on top of that with the new empowering beliefs, so that it creates long-lasting effect. I had hypnotherapy many, many years ago, and it had some short-term positive effects, but I never found it to be very lasting. And this, I found, adds that extra dimension to it that creates that much long-lasting impact and change for folks.
Thanks, Michele. Libby Johnson shared, honestly, I started sweating and didn't feel comfortable. What was that? Anyone else? Great question.
That
Great
is
response.
a great question.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that's probably Amy at work, because there might be an issue of a fear of losing control, right? So if there's that fear of losing control, allowing yourself to drop back might create that sensation. So you get to notice that, like, where is control an issue for me in my life? One of the questions that we had earlier was how do I package that in my coaching? So what I've created is a 30-day rapid rewiring experience, and it's a discovery, a rewire, and a transformation. And over 30 days, we start with a rapid transformational hypnosis session. And then that is followed by 7 days later with a 1-hour coaching session. They have support from me via email and text messaging all throughout the 30 days. And then we have another coaching session 2 weeks later as we continue to integrate the changes and the shifts that they've created and put those into new goals and strategies for them to move forward with. And sometimes it only takes one 30-day segment to create shift for them. Sometimes it might take 1 or 2 more sessions. And then other clients that actually want to do ongoing coaching with me because they're up to big things, right? And they're shifting their business, they're expanding their business, et cetera, et cetera. So I have ongoing coaching packages as well that I do with clients. But I always start now with the RTT because it really gets at the root limiting beliefs that we all have. I've never met anybody who doesn't have at least one limiting belief that's in their way somewhere.
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Michele, we've got so many great questions and statements here. Julie Schelling asked, what about pain in the body? I had an awareness of the pain. How do you address that, especially when we're in that state and those physical sensations we begin to touch into in various forms, not just physical, but even emotional or mental sensations. But she's asked, how I had the awareness of the pain. How do you address that? It's a great question.
So if you're talking about ongoing pain, Julie, again, through the regression piece, we look at what's at the root, the cause. Why has your body put that into place? I did a session with a woman who has breast cancer. And part of the work, we do a thing called role, function, purpose. And I literally ask her body, what's the role of this cancer? What's the function, the purpose of this cancer? And her body's answer was, so that I would take better care of myself. It was her body's way of telling her, hello, excuse me, you need to take better care of yourself. And it stopped her in her tracks to get her attention. Another client of mine, again, I'm like, let's do a science experiment. It's a friend of mine. She was having her second knee replacement surgery. And the first one that she had, it took her 6 months to recover where she could get back to going on a hike without any pain. And so we did a session before her surgery, and she listened to her recording going into her surgery and post-surgery, and then continued for 21 days. And she was hiking within 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So big, big, big difference, because for her, it was all about self-care and allowing herself to give her that time to take care of her own body. So it is very, very powerful. You can use it for weight loss, for smoking cessation, for different types of chronic pain. One colleague of mine in the RTT community, she suffered from a rare genetic disorder. And in one session with Marissa Peer, her pain stopped because she found the root of it and was able to, as an adult, go, oh, okay, I don't need that anymore. I mean, it blows my mind. I could tell you stories forever, right? But we don't have all night. Let's see, what else?
So Maria asked, do you do this in person only or also over the phone with clients? If over the phone, do you concern yourself with the client's state while you can't see them?
Actually, I do all of my sessions over Zoom like this. I don't do them in person because I work with clients all over the world. I've done this from here to Europe to Australia, and it works brilliantly. Because I can see you, and I'm very, very intuitive. So I feel people. I can feel what's going on for them. And so with the video on, I can watch them drop down into hypnosis and sense what's going on for them while we're going through the whole process. And sometimes people do get very emotional. I always tell them, make sure you have a box of Kleenexes because you just might need it, right? Because stuff comes up. But they're able to move beyond it and go, oh, wow, okay, I don't need that anymore. And so it's that 1-2 punch with the hypnosis and then the coaching that really helps create that powerful transformation in very short order. What else? What other questions can I answer for you guys?
Ildi poses a great statement. It's not so much a question, but she shared, I'd be curious to hear back from folks in a few days to see if they've noticed anything. Those coaches that have been on this call and experienced the 15-minute experience that you provided. So,
well, and to that end, yes, we are recording this call, and B, because you guys are here, I will be sending you the recording of the transformation portion of the call. I'll underlay some music to it, and I'll be sending you that as a separate link, an audio link, so that you can listen to it repeatedly if you choose. And so, do a science experiment with yourself and start to notice. I would encourage you after our call tonight to write down any ahas or thoughts that came up for you from this conversation, and then listen to the recording daily for 21 days and see what starts to shift. And please, feel free to email me or, let me know what you're starting to notice for yourself, because I know how powerful this is. And to that same note, I wanted to extend to everyone who's on the call tonight, if there's something in your world that you would really like to nip in the bud and yank out by the roots, I'm happy to have a complimentary discovery session with you. I'll pull up the end screen here. It has my email address on it, and you guys can feel free to email me. Let me do that here really quick before I forget. There we go. Oh, and that's the other thing too. I have another present for you. If I can move this out of the way. I don't know that's moving out of the way. But anyway, another gift for you is my ebook, Saying No with Grace and Grit. It includes a guided transformation MP3 download, similar to what we did tonight, but it's 30 minutes. And it's all about how do you take back your power? How do you say no and prioritize the things that are really important in your life? So you'll be getting that in an email from me, so be on the lookout for that. I'll also send you an email with just a link to the 15-minute portion of the transformation recording. There we go. And then if you're interested in having a complimentary discovery session, there's my email address. You can give me a shout there and we can chat further, because I would love to be of service to you guys. I love this community. I've been a part of it since, I guess, a year and a half now. I can't remember when I came on board. It's been a while. But I love the Exoteric Community. If there's other questions that I can answer for you that I haven't been able to answer tonight, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know what those are, because it's a beautiful, beautiful body of work. And I know that we're all here for the same reason, to help people create transformation in their lives in a variety of different ways. And I know you all do amazing work out there in the world. And it's been a real pleasure being here with you tonight. And whoops, there we go. Getting to share some of this incredible stuff with you. I was very excited when Linton asked me a few months ago. So any other questions? We've just got a few more minutes here.
I just want to say it as people, I think coaches may still be posting in the chat. I want to take the time out to say thank you, Michele, for facilitating, presenting this. And you're such a gift, not only to the Exo community, but to the coaching world and to humanity. And I'm in awe of you and your strengths and your gifts. So it's been wonderful having you part of this. And everyone who's been part of our webinar this evening, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules. And I loved all of the questions and the statements and the chats. And just an FYI, December the 5th is our next webinar with Fran Harris, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, 8 p.m. Eastern. And so information will be forthcoming beginning next week from Fran about the webinar. So again, thank you all. It's 29 minutes after the hour.
Ooh,
Michele,
like
anything else?
Bill, we did it. Woo! So, well, thank you all. It's my sincere pleasure to be of service to you and to share this information with you. It lights me up every day, and I get really excited talking about it, as you might notice. And so thank you for letting me spend this time with you. And again, if I can answer any questions, please let me know. I'd be delighted to talk with you further offline and yeah, see what we can create. All right.
All right.
So
Take care. Good night, everyone.
Have a blessed evening and be
care.
on the lookout for the recording. And we'll talk soon. All right. Peace out.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.